Hey guys, welcome to the Titanium Vault. I'm your host, RJ Bates III, and today's episode is called Is My 8-Year-Old More Dedicated Than You? As most of you know, my 8-year-old son, Trinity Rutger Bates, he's been actually featured on the YouTube channel and the podcast multiple times. He hosted a Q&A session I did a couple of years ago, and then as a proud dada, I shared his first ever hat trick when he was 6 years old back at American Airlines Center where the Dallas Stars play. There was a video of that because what else could a proud dad do other than share it on his YouTube channel? So today's episode is inspired by his dedication that he's had over the past couple of months, but really over the past couple of years, but he's really ramped it up. And this past season, prior to the season starting, he made a goal of, I want to make a travel hockey team next season. And travel hockey is something that I didn't really know a whole lot about or the ins and outs of it, but I knew that, hey, we're talking about going from, beginner level where, he still had a lot to learn about the game, to now all of a sudden he's fully immersed in the showcases, the camps, and the tryouts of the travel hockey programs in the DFW Metroplex, and he's well on pace to make a travel team. So I'm super proud of him for achieving that goal. But during the season, he also decided that, hey, he loves hockey so much. And look, if you were a kid that played sports growing up, you probably had the same kind of goals, right? He has now decided he wants to play in the NHL. This is what he wants to do for his life. And I just told him, I said, look, I will give you every opportunity possible for you to play in the NHL. Okay. I will do that for you as your dad. But you're going to have to work extremely hard, son. You have my genes. I'm not a professional hockey player. I was pretty good growing up, but I'm not a professional athlete. No one in our family has been a professional athlete. And so in order for you to achieve this goal, you're going to have to work extremely hard. And what I've seen since him making this goal is that the dedication to this end goal that he has just gone to a whole nother level. And when I look at this, it's weird timing because my son has made a goal of wanting to be an NHL player. And then I've also started the Titanium Crucible, which is working with real estate investors and showing them exactly what Titanium Investments does and how we do it. And then giving them the tools, giving them the scripts and saying, okay, go out and now achieve your goals. And so simultaneously, I'm watching people come in and say, hey, I have this goal of making X amount per month, X amount per year. I want to do this many deals. And they're given all the tools, everything that I could possibly give them. And I'm seeing what kind of level of dedication they have. And then I'm also watching my son, who's 8 years old, say, hey, I have my goals of making the NHL, making a travel hockey program. And I'm getting to see the difference in dedication between the two. And my question to you is, do you have the dedication that it's going to take to achieve your goals? Or is it just really fun to sit there and say, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to make millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I want to do X amount of deals per year. That sounds great, but are you truly dedicated? Are you willing to do what it takes, make the sacrifices to achieve that? I watch my son. He now has the opportunity to do skates. He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning so he can make his skates at 6 a.m. in Farmers Branch, Texas, which is about a 45-minute drive. I told him I would give him everything that I could possibly give him. That means I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and drive him there and watch him work his ass off. And then I see him sign up for the enhancements, the camps, the showcases, multiple programs. He's on the ice multiple times a day. He's doing whatever it takes. His coach chewed their ass out the other day because they said, look, you expect to show up here at 8 o'clock in the morning, skating every day, and you think you're going to have energy drinking chocolate milk and eating donuts for breakfast? No. You have to start drinking protein shakes. You need to eat your vegetables. You need to make yourself a breakfast in the morning. So what does my 8-year-old do? He wakes up, He makes himself a protein shake in the morning, makes himself breakfast. He's 8 years old. I don't even know how he learned how to make breakfast, but he's in there and he's doing that. Wakes up at 4:30 in the morning. He doesn't grumble. He doesn't groan. He jumps right out of bed. He gets dressed and he goes because he's dedicated to his goals. Now, I sit here and I help investors and I give them the tools. I give them the same things. And then they say, hey, I'm sorry, RJ. It was too hard for me to learn how to use batch leads. You're weak is the problem. You're not dedicated to anything. You're just blowing a bunch of bullshit this direction. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing people say that they're dedicated to their end goals. And they're not. They just want the result. You have to fall in love with the process. That's the beauty of this, is that you're building something out. You're becoming an expert in the system that you're using, and then you build your own processes. But even more so than that, within the Crucible, I'm showing you the processes that we already built around these systems. I'm giving you everything that we already do that has a proven track record of working, and you say it's too hard. You don't want to know what's hard? Here's a quote by Brendan Shanahan, which was a great NHL player. When someone asked him, is ice hockey hard? He said, I don't know, you tell me. We need to have the strength and power of a football player, the stamina of a marathon runner, and the concentration of a brain surgeon. But we need to put all this together while moving at high speeds on a cold and slippery surface, while 5 other guys use clubs to try and kill us. Oh, yeah, did I mention that this whole time we're standing on blades at 1/8 of an inch thick? Is ice hockey hard? I don't know. You tell me. Next question. So my 8-year-old's willing to do that, while I have people complaining about how to use batch leads when you literally have hundreds of videos on the internet of me using it that you could literally just sit there and copy what I do on a regular basis. You have customer support that will help you. You have an opportunity to watch live Zoom calls on a weekly basis from Batch that shows you how to use it, where you can ask questions. You have an account manager that you can sit there and call. If you come to the Crucible, you have me as a mentor. And you think this is hard to wholesale a couple of deals a year so you can make a couple $100,000? Listen, I think you at some point in time, if you're in this space right now, you're in this mental lack of fortitude where you think wholesaling is difficult and what you're trying to accomplish is hard, you need to really sit down and think about how dedicated you are to changing your life and achieving your goals. Because the reality of it is, this isn't hard. That's why I did the YouTube video and the podcast a couple of weeks ago. It says, wholesaling is simple. Quit being stupid. You just lack any kind of mental fortitude. You don't want to achieve your goals. My 8-year-old wants to achieve his goals. He's willing to do whatever it takes. Literally. Yesterday morning, he was on the ice at 8:15 a.m. till 9:30. And then he was back on the ice at 5 until 7. And he comes home and he wants to talk to me about the things that he learned, how he's working on his right foot outer edge. If you don't know what that means, you can Google it. But from this point, I mean, it's unbelievable that my 8-year-old cares about how he's using 1/8 of an inch steel blade on ice and he's working on his right foot outer edge. That's how detailed he is about achieving his goals. How detailed are you about achieving your goals within your business? Do you actually think about these things? Are you obsessed about it? Do you wake up in the morning without an alarm because you're so hungry to achieve your goals? Because things are moving so well in the right direction that you want to be the first one in and the last one out? That's where I am within my business. I'm loving the process that we're currently in right now. And I'm inspired daily. This is why when I gave my speech at Ground Zero that was run by Quentin Flores, I spoke about my son's my hero. He constantly inspires me. I don't know where he got this drive from, but it makes me want to have a stronger, longer lasting drive within Titanium Investments. I have goals of what I want to do. We have a big, hairy, audacious goal of owning 1% of the United States, and we're not on pace for that. So I have to get better. at everything that I do. And so I become obsessed with where we are around the systems that we're using and the processes. How can we make the processes a little bit better within our business every single day? I want you to sit down and really think about where you are within this. You take the time to watch these 10, 15-minute long videos or listen to me on a podcast carrier, and you want to somehow be inspired for change in your life. Some point in time, you have to find it within yourself and say, I'm going to go do it. The resources are available to you at all times. I was sitting here at my desk and I said, hey, Patrick, what would be a good podcast topic? He said, well, you did an IG story the other morning that asked, are you as dedicated to your goals as my 8-year-old is to his? So thank you to Patrick for inspiring me to do this, because that's a serious question. Are you as dedicated to your goals as my 8-year-old son is to his goal of making the NHL? I don't know if he'll make it, but I can guarantee you this. He is going to work as hard as he possibly can, and he will not allow anything to stand in his way in the process. Will he eventually have the talent to make it? I don't know. Because at the end of the day, when he's 18, 19, 20 years old, he has to be one of 600 people in this world that play ice hockey to make the NHL. One of 600. Your goal of running a successful wholesale business, there are no limitations to that. You just literally have to show up and work for it. That's all I got for you today, guys. Hope this resonated with you, and I hope it helps inspire change within your business. We'll see you guys next week.